The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
We had a Hollywood superstar on our flight.
Oh, I missed it. I saw it on.
How did you miss it?
Well,
You would have walked past.
I missed it too. It was only.
Thank you.
I walked on with Luttsy.
I was trying to.
Yeah.
did you recognise it?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah.
Yeah, I walked on with Luttsy and then I've gone and sat down. Lutsy's gone, did you see who's sitting in row one? And I went, no. And then he told me who it was. I was like, oh, wow. And I could see him from where we were.
Who was it again?
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Mentioned it. Yeah.
I recognised the face. He was on the, I don't know if when you saw it, he was on the phone. I heard this American accent and I was like, God, this guy must be loaded. And then when you said it was Vince Vaughn, I was like, that's where I knew him from.
Yeah, I don't reckon I would have recognised him. What's he doing here? Does anyone know?
He did a thing last night. He's in Brisbane to do like one of those. Yeah, you see the weird ads where it's like, it's some sort of economic guest speakers. Vince Vaughn. I'm like, what?
What, for an economic
really?
forum?
I don't know what's economic. It's some sort of. Nick, you got any intel? It's like one of those. I don't know. It's like.
It's the same bloke who hosted the Tom Brady night.
Yeah, it's one of those. Go along and be inspired by a bunch of people, and it's like
Okay,
three
interesting.
people you haven't heard of, and then Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, he's super tall.
Is he?
Yeah, I was in row 5.
So you could see him.
wondering where
I
you
was
were.
just out of business class, and he was in
One like
in one whatever
C,
window
B,
seat,
1D.
window seat up right up the front. So when the plane landed, we all stood up. I was like, oh my God, I didn't realise he was so tall. Like I reckon he'd be 6'4".
Wow.
Yeah, 6'5". They're saying here.
6'5".
Yeah, like super tall.
Was he with Jennifer Aniston at one stage? Like, did he marry her?
No, he didn't marry her.
He was
did
going out with her, wasn't
Did
he?
I think
Did
he
he?
was.
He did a movie with
Well,
her
he
and then they
married her.
became couples. I came a couple.
No, they weren't married, were they?
Let's look up Vince Vaughn's dating history. Come on.
I'm pretty sure.
Did anyone see when he got off the plane?
Yeah, I did because we kind of got off together.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Did you get a photo or anything? Or?
No.
That's your moment, mate. Because
Come on, don't do that, please.
I was back in bloody 13C, so I didn't get an opportunity. You were the only person close enough to him.
Don't tell me what you would have done
Yeah.
if you were, one-on-one. You had your opportunity, mate. That
was a different opportunity.
Nah, come on. Yeah,
He's
Vaughn's-
talking about Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes.
in a Qantas club.
We were in like first class lounge.
It's a different time.
No, different time.
Yeah,
You
it
were
was
single.
different time.
You were single then. You're single now.
It's Katie Holmes.
Katie
It was
Holmes
creepy.
is sitting there by herself.
At her peak.
Suze.
Dawson's
it
Creek
was
time?
just Luttsy, myself, Jody, and
I've heard this once or twice.
and Scott, and we've
At
gone
least.
go over and talk to him. Yeah, so I'm just
that was
saying
like-
when
we
he
were
goes,
saying-
"Oh, rock up to Vince Vaughn and get a
No,
photo." Well, you could have gone over for an
'Cause I
hour.
would've
You could have
been-
gone
would've
over
been
to her
hitting
and
on her.
talked.
I wasn't hitting on Vince. Like Vince Vaughn's been in my favourite movies.
Hitting on her.
Wedding crashes.
Old school.
Give me a break.
Like, come on, he's one of my favourite actors. That's a different. I wasn't just hitting on Katie. I don't even know one movie Katie Holmes has been in.
What?
So I don't know one
Oh,
movie.
right,
that
yeah. I
she's
was going to
been
say,
in.
which one? I don't know what she's been in.
Vince Vaughn's next level.
We
Old school.
We interviewed him one day.
Did you?
Yeah, you
Did
weren't.
we?
God, you're.
Oh, no,
We had him at Triple M one day.
90% of
At
our
Triple M,
interviews.
he came. Yeah,
He
so
came in.
He came into Triple M. What you? Oh,
I've
listen
actually.
to him now.
I'm dead set forgot
Oh,
about
come on.
Oh,
that. That wasn't.
break it up, you two.
Well, I've met Vince Vaughn.
Wait.
He came into the studio, Triple M. He sat down around exactly like this. Vince Vaughn came in. We interviewed
dead
him.
set.
How do I remember that and not you?
That is a very
That
good
is a
question.
miracle, actually.
Yeah.
But, what? We didn't get a photo? Like, what the hell?
I don't know.
So much has
You
happened
look
in
at
our lives.
photos.
We just
Phones probably weren't invented yet, smartphones.
probably weren't, actually.
He didn't take your digital camera in.
What did we talk to him about?
Got no idea.
That pisses me off.
You guys good?
We could. I just wish I had a better memory.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox. Good news, Suze. Good day, sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, it's time to feel good.
South Australian man takes up running at 92 and now wins races.
Age group races?
It's a great idea, I reckon.
No.
What'd you say?
Age group.
Age group races.
Yeah,
Who is he competing against?
exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's why I said because he never
It's
really.
not the worst idea.
It's not the worst idea. He's never been into sports or exercising, and he was 92. And Percy Voigt, he was watching TV when he saw advertisement for the South Australian Masters Games. He's 92 and he's like, oh, I could do that.
I could win that.
I could win that. Before he knew it, he was heading down the track to try his luck at the 100-metre sprint. And a few months later, he competed in his first Masters Games in South Australia, and he won gold in the 60 metres and the 100 metres. It's not the silliest idea.
No, I agree.
There'll be like,
Just hang in the longest and win.
I didn't say how many people were in it.
Like, we're not that old. We finished 4th last year at Worlds.
Yeah, we came
you won
fourth
the
as
damn
well.
thing, Susie.
Yeah.
You're already winning it.
Good news,
I heard
Suze.
someone wants to break my record.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. We've got to discuss this, actually. Yes.
Noted.
Okay.
A 5-year-old becomes youngest ever to receive a bionic arm. Remember the Bionic Man? Did you just have the Bionic Man doll? Yeah, this happened to this boy. His 5-year-old boy, he was born with one hand, but then he was fitted with a bionic arm. He was the youngest person ever at 5, and he was so excited he got a Iron Man theme prosthetic. What would that be?
these things
Does it
are
have like
amazing.
fingers?
Presume so.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
It's incredible what they can do. Somehow they connect the nerves or something to
Yeah.
the...
Doesn't it work off the brain tells
Yeah.
it what to do?
Yeah, I think so. That's how I connect it to
It's
your brain.
incredible.
It is incredible.
These
And
guys are amazing that do
imagine
this.
designing that. That would be such a good legacy. To design something that
Or
would
an
help
armacy.
people.
Oh my god.
Can I take a quick? An armacy. Heartwarming footage showed how just hours later he could whiz around on a scooter with his prosthetic arm. Prosthetic arm.
That's amazing.
That's good.
Good news, Suze.
This is a good one too. Adelaide schoolboys signed major international deal after inventing a card game.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to
Sound like poker or
walk
something.
away,
Hang on. Know when to
run. You never
Okay, come on.
count your money.
Yeah.
Gus Gould when we did this last night during the Origin.
Table.
He said he'd start singing if the DJ played the Gambler at Newcastle Stadium.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was commenting on the
Yeah.
music all night.
Was he? The music was good at the men's Origin too.
You're the female equivalent of Gus Gould.
Yes.
You know what else? Oh, the scoreboard. I've never seen a scoreboard like that at the
That is
men's
cool.
Origin.
Yeah, that
it
was
was
pretty cool,
like half
actually.
the field.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Reminds me of the US. Some of the
Did
stuff
remind
they
of
do
US.
there. Yeah.
Okay, back to my story. Jacob, Sam, and Ben were 12 years old. They're in class, Ash, and they'd finished their schoolwork, so the teacher gave them a deck of playing cards to, do whatever. And while they were doing that, they imagined their own game. They
So using a conventional set of 52 cards.
presume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the new game was called Swipey, and now they sell hundreds of units around Australia and overseas. I don't know.
So
I don't
how
know
do you
it
sell
works.
Isn't that
units
amazing?
though? Like if it's
Maybe online.
a great story,
A
but
lot of stuff, if it goes well now, you can sell it online.
But doesn't that go to show, like, you get a deck of cards and then people go, this is the game, there's different games you can play, but to give it to kids and they come up with their own game,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Kids love
I
doing
like that story.
Kids like doing that. Do you remember when your kids were little? They'd always make up games. Don't
Just
you
give
reckon?
them a ball, next thing you know, you got some unreal game.
I know. And then they change the rules as you go along. Do your kids do that? If they're not winning? Oh, this is just my kids. Okay. They change the rules like, okay, what you got to do is, kick the ball between these two posts. They can't get it.
Yeah,
Like,
and
no,
then yeah.
it means you get a point if you also do this thing that I've just done.
But that's good as well because, all the tech they have these days, as a comedian to stand up on this saying, if you watch Instagram, it's like, you got a text and computers and all this sort of business and kids on their screens, but, the biggest thing on TikTok or whatever is like flipping a bottle and making it
land flat.
land flat is still the biggest thing that
Or
kids
dropping
can do.
ping pong balls down the step until it goes into the cup.
Yeah. We should explore that further later today. In
No,
the
I'm
show.
busy. I'm busy.
At 8:20.
Oh, okay. No, the show.
She's doing a tease.
You said later today.
She's doing a tease, guys.
Yeah, it's
Like
all right.
in working hours.
I thought
But
you meant
we'll
we're going to
get
catch up for a cup of coffee or something.
No, we
game
get
of
paid for
cards.
it. It's like a work thing.
But that's good news.
Not in our
Yeah.
leisure time.
Walking on sunshine. Whoa, it's time to feel good. The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
Sid, my boy, was telling me when we were down in Sydney over the last couple of days, when we were heading out to the captain's run,
Yeah.
I think Alicia was in the car too, he was saying that the night before, because he lives at the uni in the boarding dorms or whatever they call it, college, in the college that he's in, that morning one of the girls that is in the college has come into his room in the morning, and she'd had like a really big night the night before, and she came in and she goes, "Sid, have a look at this," and she's showing him that on her leg she's got a tattoo. She goes, "Look what happened last night," and she's got a tattoo, and it's the tattoo is YOLO.
Oh,
What's YOLO mean?
you only live
You
once.
only live once. And she's gone, I can't believe she's got YOLO as her tattoo.
Oh, no.
And she goes, I can't believe it. Like,
Could you remember it? Or?
Well, that was the thing. She goes, I can't believe that I've done it, and I've got to tell my parents. And Sid goes, yeah, I know that you got that tattoo. And she goes, how? He goes, you had it on your Insta story. Like, yeah, you put it up.
So his parents have seen it anyway.
You'd been putting it up on your, well, if they follow her on Instagram, I don't know if they follow her on Instagram or not, but she's had that moment. I used to have dreams. Like, I used to actually have really vivid, I don't have any ink on me whatsoever, but I used to have really vivid dreams that
I'm getting one.
that I was blind drunk. This was the dream. The dream was I was blind drunk and that I got tattooed. And then I woke up and went, oh my God, look at my arm. But then I had the joy of actually waking up,
Not having
and looking and going,
yeah.
It was just a dream.
Because some dreams are so real, aren't they?
It was just so vivid. Yes.
Yeah. YOLO.
YOLO.
Is it in a fine print, by the way? Does it look kind of nice, I wonder? Or was it?
We didn't really ask.
No.
He said it's like.
Where is it exactly?
It's right on the leg, right about there, and it's quite big too.
I got a drunken tattoo with a mate of mine. Yeah, the Buzz Lightyear
Which
that's
one?
on my ankle.
Which one?
The
Give us a look.
The Buzz.
So that was it. So did you wake up in the morning and go,
Any
what
regrets?
the
Or you're
hell?
like, well, who cares?
Nah, I didn't really care. I've got lots
Mate,
of
you only
silly
live
tattoos.
once.
Yeah, YOLO. But my mate regrets his. So it was me and my mate. We went into the tattoo thing, and I knew I wanted this one, and he was like flicking through, couldn't find anything that he liked, and so in the moment he goes, I'm just going to get a Where's Wally, but peeping over my sock. So basically, when he wears a sock, it looks like Where's Wally
So he
is
puts
like.
it at a level.
Yeah.
That's
so
cute.
But when he wears thongs, it's just a Where's Wally head with these two random.
He's got to
yeah.
wear socks with his.
I know. Yeah, socks and
doesn't
thongs.
work.
But was that a legit one where you woke up in the morning and then you didn't realise and you looked at it and went, oh, that's right.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that you kind of remember it the next morning. You wake up and you go, that's right. We end up at a tattoo joint. This was in King's Cross in Sydney.
Oh,
no.
that is pretty cool, actually.
My friend, his daughter got a tattoo like that, same sort of thing, just a drunken thing, and it's the worst tattoo. He's going to know.
Yeah.
She's listening. She was a beautiful, probably 16-year-old girl when she got it. She got 4 X's in a row.
Oh, that's a dream. Is it for the
Correct.
beer or is it
Yeah,
just
beer.
Well, that's
The beer
amazing. I've seen some Mad 4X ones. I've seen some Mr. 4X ones on young people.
Actually, that would be cute,
That's
wouldn't
cool.
it?
Yeah, Mr. 4X. But once you get them, like as you said, like remember those? I've said this before, but the guys that were out here for Thor Ragnarok, like Chris Hemsworth's stunt double and his trainer, Chris's trainer. They've got them down there. I think they've got 19 down their thigh, and it'll literally just be people they meet out for one night. Oh, mate, Jimmy, you all right? Let's get Jimmy.
Oh, really?
Like it's just random, completely random.
I got a mate who's got a tattoo on him from, like, this is ridiculous, but they bought a tattoo gun on eBay or wherever, and then they got on it and they started tattooing each other.
Yeah.
With no experience whatsoever.
Not even telling them what they're going to tattoo on each other, or
Well, I mean, even
just
so,
crap.
Be like me coming over with this Nico pen now, going, I'll put something cool in the forearm.
Forever.
I got mates who did that and they played noughts and crosses on his chest.
You're kidding.
No, I swear to God.
Stop
Yeah.
it! Like that's there for life.
I know, it's ridiculous.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I visited my parents the other day. They still live in the same house that they've lived in for 45 years. So every time I go back there, I think of my childhood. Not every time. Well, I don't go back that often, so nearly every time I go back, you just imagine, this is a street I used to play in, and
Still smells like childhood, doesn't it, when you go back to your parents' house?
yeah, yeah. And across the road, it's the same house that used to be there, and same people that used to be there, still 45 years later as well.
Oh, really?
Yep. And we used to play in their backyard with the boys there because they had a fort, and climb up the fort and do stuff. And the street, I remember when I was really into skateboarding, and I used to have to go to the street next door to skateboard because it was a brand new street back then, because it was a new kind of estate.
Some nicer roads.
So
Fresh bitumen,
fresh
mate.
bitumen and flat and smooth. Whereas ours, because it was old, well, it was built,
riggedy.
you know, when it was, you don't even see streets like it anymore. You know, when it was literally like bits of gravel, you know.
Yeah,
like,
almost
Yeah.
they put under the road.
Not
to
sealed?
float.
It's sealed, but it's not
Unsealed.
smooth at all.
Gotcha.
Like you cannot even ride a skateboard or skates down it. You can ride a bike, but even a bike's like.
And if you fell off, it would graze your whole leg.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was crazy. But and the other games we used to play, like you play in your street. You know, remember you used to be able to play in your street.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing about
Yeah.
growing up.
Because we were in a cul-de-sac, which was pretty fancy back then, like dead end streets. Remember?
Yeah, we were in a dead end.
Like dead end. I feel like they were a new invention when I was little. Like, you know, new estates, dead end streets, because before that all the streets ran to other roads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden they had bushland they couldn't get through yet, so you had a dead end.
Yeah.
That's all we had as
It'll
well.
just run out.
Yeah.
And I used to ride my bike all over the suburb as well, and you know, same sort of thing. Get back before dark, blah blah blah. And I was thinking to my kids, their childhood, what it was like. It was so different to my childhood, obviously.
Well, they stay connected now through the games. Like
Yeah.
I walk into Archie's room, he's sitting there chatting away.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean headsets? and that.
Yeah.
He's like playing Fortnite or whatever it is with like 4 of his mates, and it's
Oh,
like
okay.
it's like they're all around together,
But they're not.
they're all just sitting at home in their bedrooms, but they are connected.
Yeah.
still.
They're talking. They're not just,
Yeah.
as people say, they're just texting, but they're not. Yeah. Isn't that weird when they play computer games and they're talking to
Well, it's not even
other
really,
kids?
Oh, and they're just like it's
it's not
just
even
like
a WhatsApp group, I guess. You know, you're just sitting there throwing banter.
Yeah.
But they're doing it whilst playing a game.
it's all in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're also actually characters on the screen as well, aren't they? Like
Yeah.
they are people sort of interacting. Like you go here and you go there and that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
right.
But then my kids also had, you know, social media that with Instagram and sort of watching things for hours on end and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And as you said, or as I said, or as I'm thinking, they never left. They don't leave their room as much. Whereas I was never in my room when I grew up.
No,
No, you slept there and that was it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go like up in Harvey Bay. Like we'd just on our pushies. There was one Christmas holidays where. I don't think I even slept in my own house for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. And all I had to do was just ring home and go, Mum, I'm at Lincoln's tonight. Mum, I'm going to stay over at Wilco's or at Dirk's. But it was like a 3-week stretch. Where
Yeah.
It was like,
What a dream for parents.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Honestly, that's like boarding school.
Yeah.
I reckon that the best era to grow up though was I would have preferred to grow up as me than grow up as my kids.
I reckon I grew up in the middle somewhere because we had
Yeah.
a little bit of technology. Like instead of gaming, we used MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the first
What is that?
generation.
Is that like
was
Facebook?
first generation.
It was like
of
the first chat.
chat.
Yeah,
never did
like
that.
it was just a chat thing, but then also we used to go out. Like so, you'd message your friend on MSN Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go out and play, and then you'd walk around to the house and you go, Mrs. Day, can Brendan come out and play cricket? And we used to play cricket but it was all sort of, I was kind of halfway in
Yeah.
between, I reckon, with technology, but also playing outside. Because I never see any kids on my street, and we live in a pretty quiet street, ever playing outside, riding bikes, playing
Right.
cricket like we used to. Nothing.
We used to go into the, in Harvey Bay, there used to be a brickworks right near where we,
Yes.
and they'd leave the keys in the forklift of a weekend.
No.
Oh wow, really?
And you drive
You
the
do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and we grew up like we understand our house literally backed onto the window factory, and so and when the window like, of a weekend you go in there and you'd be able to turn the machines on. We'd be able to play with staple gun like war games with staple guns and
There's no rules back
there was
then.
no
Oh,
health
wow.
and safety
Yeah.
around.
Like
in those-
skirmish, but
it was
real.
skirmish, but with staple guns.
Yeah. What do you reckon the best era to grow up is?
Oh, I think they got it pretty good now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at it now. Like, our video games were like, you know, if you're into video games, we had Pinball Machine and Galaga. And these days you look at it and you go, I get envious of them, actually, like with all of their cool video games.
But
that
what about the
That
online-
looks so much fun.
The online abuse they cop, which we never
Yeah,
had
there was
to.
an innocent.
I know
There's
there's
that as
I
well.
know.
We had an
I know.
innocent. We had
There's
an
a
innocence where
downside.
if you got bullied back in the day,
Yeah, it was to your face.
you got a punch in the face.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
We're looking for the best era to grow up in.
Yeah, we're reminiscing about when I grew up, when I visited my parents' house. But Tracy from Boondall, what do you reckon was the best era to grow up in?
Yeah, what era you grew up in? Or
It's
something.
got to be 62.
You were born in 62.
Yeah, and I'm 62 today, Luttsy.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Is that right? 62 plus 62 equals 120...
224.
224? Yeah, but 24.
Yeah.
Well, did you grow up in Did you grow up in Boondock? I grew up in Boondock, but I'm not quite as...
No, Luttsy, it's Tracy from North.
Oh, Tracy from North! Oh, my God! Actually, you know
Tracy.
Tracy from North? Tracy's on the front desk, but her family's like synonymous with North and the local area
Yeah,
as well.
and we grew up in Lower Nudgee.
Yeah, right. So Dad
Your
coached.
north side represents your whole life.
Dad coached you, Tracy.
Hey?
Dad coached you. Dad taught you. didn't
Coach
he?
Tracy?
Taught him.
Oh.
Yes.
Tracy at Nudgee
Yeah.
State School.
Yeah.
By the way,
yeah.
you don't look a day over 42. You are going very well, Tracy.
Luttsy.
Oh.
You smooth criminal.
Oh, you're a silver-tongued devil, aren't you?
Oh, gee, but where's the devil's in there?
Devil to the core, Tracy.
The core.
Of course.
Like Tracy's
absolutely.
usually the person you'll see, the first person you see when you go into the Devil's Leagues Club, and it's a breath of fresh air.
And you reckon...
Oh. Yeah, well, it was a good year. And growing up, you didn't... If you did get into trouble, and the coppers were around, they would just, get home now, and, and you're pretty free. You're pretty free. The kids are pretty locked up at the moment,
We're also worried about stranger danger, aren't we?
Yeah, and ride bikes around.
I reckon Nudgee in that era
run through
sounded
the-
pretty cool, actually, I will say that.
It was really good.
Did you still get this?
And one of 8, we were a bit naughty at times, but Mum and you had respect.
Yeah.
Had respect for
And if
people.
someone didn't have respect, one of your brothers would belt them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Built the respect into
Oh,
him.
Dad.
They were the days.
Oh, actually, you had to be scared of Mum. She was the worst.
Yeah, right, okay.
I was thinking, did you still get the strap at school at that era? Because it stopped just for girls. It stopped just before I got to primary school. The strap.
No, the cane.
The cane.
So,
Yeah.
old Normie Hunter, Mr. Hunter, he was
Hunter.
the headmaster. He was short. So when the boys got into trouble, all the girls actually, he had to get on a chair and then come down with the cane if they were tall boys.
It's like a wrestling move off the ropes.
He gave the rope a break.
Thank you,
Well,
Tracy.
actually, that is a downside to our era too. Like
we used to get
Corporal
belted.
punishment.
we used to get caned in primary school.
Yeah.
Like primary school. I
Girls
reckon I
didn't-
got caned for the first time in grade 3 or 4.
Like pants down caning.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
Legit.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
And mate, it hurt. The cane hurt.
Imagine.
You get it either over the hands or you get it across the arse.
Backside.
It's a
Oh.
bit sus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tori, did you ever get the cane? Hello.
Tori. You're a 94
Hi.
child. That's a different era. That's
me.
30 years later. This is Buzz era. What was yours like?
Yeah, 30 this year.
What was it like growing up in the 90s, Tori?
Well, we used to, I actually lived on the Bay Island, so Macleay Island, and we used to have all these abandoned houses on the island, and then we'd always all go in the house on the weekend and play house, and the house was full of food and everything, and we'd just cook up heaps of food, and
So
it
you
was
just
bizarre.
lived there.
It was crazy.
That's pretty nuts. You wouldn't get away with that now, would you?
No, absolutely not.
You were talking about that the other day, Luttsy, when some kids went into the old Toombul shopping town.
Yeah, they videoed it the other day, which is
They
being
did
knocked
that.
down now. It was spooky as hell. They're in the cinemas and stuff. It was all the chairs
That
are
was
still
interesting.
there. It was bizarre.
You say they're still getting lollies out of the vending machines.
There was like a whole one of those claw
toy.
things and full of Chupa Chups.
Hey, let's go to Simon. Just speaking of lollies, real quick, because this is a good one. Out of Jindalee, memories from whenever your era was, Simon. When was it?
I actually got a caning. I can't remember how many times. I was in there quite once a week, surely. But I remember we could get a bag of lollies for 20 cents.
Yeah.
That was actually cool.
Cheap lollies.
And also Guy Fawkes Night, where I could go down as a young kid and buy fireworks and from the local milk bar.
Yeah, that was nuts. You'd actually go, I want 10 of those lollies, 10 of those lollies, 10 of those lollies, 10 of those lollies, and it'd be 40 cents.
Yeah, you'd sit there and take the lady.
Yeah.
Like,
It'd be nuts.
whoever's buying
No,
that.
no,
an
two
hour
of
and
them.
a half, yeah, 2 of them. I want 3
No, 3
caramel
bananas, I
things.
said.
Yeah, actually, can you put them back and I'll get...
That's what you do.
And Simon, did you have to get a packet of fags for your parents as well? Remember that? You could buy lollies and a packet of fags for your parents when you were like 10 years old. If
oh
they
my
smoked.
God.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Taylor, did you buy... Oh, you're in the 80s. How was that?
Yeah, great. We used to help the local milk truck deliver the milk around the streets, or the kids and I, and then
then we'd when we go past a certain bush, we'd throw out the chocolate mousse and come back and get them after we finish.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.